super great guest time. Here we go. Pop Idol opened up the gates. Very good, yeah. For our next guest over 20 years ago, and we've been loving him ever since. I've never met anybody who doesn't love this guy. His new live UK tour, Boy Band in the Buff, continues this Thursday all over the country. So please welcome one of the greats. It's Gareth Gates!
Thank you for having me.
It's unbelievable. I hugged you outside. It was like hugging a suit of armour. It was like hugging a granite statue.
Really?
Tell us about your gym, your workout, your regime. Tell us about the tour. Tell us about everything.
I mean, as you get a bit older, you start to really look after yourself. I'm now 41. Pop Idol was 24 years ago now.
Wow.
And yeah, I train hard every day, eat well, and I've kind of put my two passions together, pop and the gym.
Yeah.
And we've come up with this brand new show, Boy Band in the Buff.
Okay, and it's touring now, and it's a nationwide tour, isn't it? It's a
Everywhere.
proper tour.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So this Thursday, Worcester, then St Albans through February. You got Lincoln, Peterborough, Redruth, Torquay, Plymouth, and then in March it's Weymouth and Chatham and Eastbourne. Literally all over the country. If you live in the UK, you'll be going somewhere near their house.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. We opened last week,
Right.
And the crowds are just really loving it.
course
It's
they are.
all those big sort of hits from the 90s and noughties from bands like Westlife, Take That, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Blue, to name only a few. And then that element of strip, people just go crazy for it.
Right, so that's it. It's just like here, it's rip and strip or strip and rip or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Jeez. And how does it? I know how that bit works. How does how does the rest of it work? So are you? Is there a live band? Are you with other singers? Or
Yeah.
dancers or what?
So we've actually created a boy band, as it were. All great singers, all great dancers. All look half decent without a top on, and we've choreographed the whole show. We all sing and dance and get naked, as it were.
All right, okay. Well, yeah, there you go. You're not pulling any punches, are you? Is what it says on the tin. Boybandinthebuff.com. And, I mean, it's what you need to brighten up your dark February evenings, isn't it? I mean, that's what's going on. How did you get the band together?
Well, I just put out a casting call. I'm producing the show myself, you see, so it's my idea. And, and then, I called on a few people that I've worked with in the past, who were great performers. We did some auditions, and then, we're on tour now for the rest of the year.
Congratulations. And also, you're looking towards next Christmas, and you're doing a casting show for a pantomime, Finding Belle.
That's right.
So tell us a bit about that.
Well, yeah, I'm now in the world of producing. Again, as you get older, you start to create other avenues. So I'm a producer now as well, and I'm producing my first panto this coming Christmas up in Great Yarmouth. And we're doing a casting call to try and find, some talent that sort of lives within the area. And trying to find my belle, as it were.
And so that's come full circle, and you've talked about this, haven't you?
Yes.
Because you're sort of you're on the other side of the desk.
Yeah, that's right.
Compared to where you were 20 odd years ago.
Yeah, I mean, Pop Idol was such a huge thing for me. It was it was the first of its kind, well before X Factor, and so nobody really knew exactly what it was.
Yeah.
We went in like completely blind, and it completely changed my life. And so to give back and do the exact same, and to give a person that's on their way up that opportunity.
Yeah.
I think so. Great.
And it'll be on social media, so you'll film it and you'll get it all
Absolutely.
going. That's fantastic, mate. That is absolutely fantastic.
It's great.
Can you just can you go back, if you don't mind, 20 odd years ago?
Sure thing.
And put us all in your mindset on the morning of that audition. Where was it? What was the weather like? Who did you go with? What time did you get up? Could you sleep the night before?
Well, I was a very shy boy at the time. I was only 17 years old. Obviously, I had this terrible stammer. So I didn't want to do the audition at all. But with a bit of persuasion from my mum, she kind of pushed me along.
Because she knew how good you were.
Yeah, and it was, I always wanted to be a pop star, but, it was the handling the interviews, I was always extremely nervous about. And so, I definitely needed that gentle encouragement. And I'm really, really pleased that I did, and I think one of the things that I got out of it as well was I encouraged people who suffered the same affliction, to sort of not give up on their dream and to push for whatever they want in life, and to not let your affliction determine who you are and what you achieve.
It's such a great advert for that, such a great sort of exemplar of that attitude. And of course, the irony is the first thing you have to do in front of this panel is talk, not sing.
Yes, and the first thing they ask you is your name, and for a stammerer, the hardest thing to say is your name. Why? Because it's the first thing you're asked when you meet somebody new, and there's only one answer for it. As stammerers, we often, sort of find other words to replace the words that we can't say, and it was hell. And I thought, oh no, I thought I'd blown my chance in the advert for Pop Idol. It said, are you the next Robbie Williams? And I thought of Robbie as being, kind of cheeky chappy on stage, able to talk and have the gift of the gab. And I thought I've got absolutely no chance here. But it just so happened to turn out that having a speech impediment, being different, helped me kind of stand out from the crowd. And and it was
is that
all meant to be.
If we just play that now, is that because of what you've just said, which I've never heard you say before? Is that why you had less trouble with sort of explaining what you were going to do than you did with your name at the end, because you knew that your name was coming? Is that how it works? Yeah.
I mean, I hit my name, and that's the worst thing you can ask a stammerer, their name. But then when they asked me to sing, I've always been able to sing. That's my only form of expression. It's the only way I can get.
Not anymore.
That's
Not
right.
Anymore.
I mean, my speech coach is here today, Chris. Every interview I do, I have a speech coach with me. I still find these extremely hard.
Sorry.
And no worries. But it's it's not until you face that fear head on, the fear begins to kind of melt away.
All right, if you don't mind, let's just play you.
Yes, please.
In front of the panel for the first time.
I really want to help people who are who are really in need. So if I was to become famous, then I'd be able to do that, obviously. I'd be able to help the hungry, and the homeless and things like that. Yeah, so that's my dream, and hopefully I'll, that's it. Hopefully I'll fulfil it. So.
Hang on a second, hang on there, kid. Actually, you can probably tell us. What is your name?
I just want to say first, I have a stammer, so I'm finding it hard.
Sure, that's fine.
Take it easy. Don't worry about it.
Just relax.
Okay, cheers, thank you. Thanks.
Take your time.
My name is. Oh, come on,
No, just take your time.
Gareth Gates.
That's fine. When you're ready.
Wow. Actually, that went on for much longer than what they aired. They edited that down like considerably, and yeah, it was hard because you're in that room. I desperately wanted to become a pop star, but you instantly think, have I blown my chance? They're looking for a pop idol. I see an idol as a person that aspires, that people aspire to be like, the image of perfection, and I just wasn't that. So.
Well, then you sang. Okay,
yeah.
Let's hear that now.
Everybody's looking for that something, just one thing that makes it all complete. But you'll find it in the strangest places, places you never knew it could be. Some find it in the face of their children, or some find it in the lover's eye.
I mean,
wow.
How is it now listening to that again, nearly 25 years later?
Yeah, I look back on those times with just, very, very fond memories,
That moment, were you no longer nervous? Was that your sort of
Yeah, it was like
safe place?
and relax and
really?
breathe. Yeah, because I'd already got over the hard part of it, which was
the singing was easy.
telling them my name. Every Saturday night, on those live shows, we'd have to walk on, perform first, and then walk over to Anton Deck, and have a chat. Yeah, and I was so focused on the chat at the end of it that I didn't even think about the singing.
That's so interesting.
And I was there, to show the nation I could sing.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even bothered about that. I was just so fixed on the interview, and so nervous about the interview.
And would that be the case now? So if you were to revisit, for example, that little a cappella excerpt that we heard there, would it be similar?
Yeah, it's.
Could it be similar?
I haven't actually warmed up, Chris.
Oh! Is there a chance of anything?
Well, the show that I'm now on, Boy Band in the Buff, I perform that very, very song in that show.
Do you?
Like Flying Without Wings. And so if you would like to hear me sing, then you must buy tickets for the show.
No, that's great, man. That's great. Boybandinthebuff.com. So you are unbelievably fit now. Is that a recent thing, or has it been like last 5-10 years? Or?
Yeah, I hit the age of 30 and I decided, to go for health and
right.
And to go for fitness. And then 2 years ago, I was on the TV show Celebrity SAS.
You smashed it.
To which I actually passed. I think that was a catalyst really to really kick me into the next gear. And ever since then I've just been full steam ahead, and I feel great. I'm a lot more focused on life, and
Good for you, man.
Feels good.
Good for you. What is the regime? I mean, how much work do you have to do to get into the shape you're in?
I'm actually naturally very, 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 very slim, and so I have to lift everything, and sort of eat as much as I can to try and put any weight on.
Oh, right.
And also as you get a bit older as well, I throw a bit of cardio in there as well, to keep myself fit. I've started to play paddle as well. Have you played paddle?
Yeah, I love paddle.
Yeah.
Doesn't everybody love paddle now? That's the thing. The hardest thing about paddle apparently is getting a court.
Yes, exactly.
That's the most difficult thing.
Yeah, I have a group of friends now that we go out, every Tuesday night and play paddle, and it's the
there are
best
24-hour paddle courts, aren't there?
Yes,
because people
that's
just will play any time to get a court.
Yes, yeah, that's.
Have you played pickleball? That's the other big thing in
No,
America.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's more for people my age.
really?
Pickleball is the gentle version of anything with a racket.
Oh, really?
That's what they say. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll give that a go.
And so you're into your protein and you do a bit of cardio, because a lot of people who do weights don't do so much cardio, do they? And that can, and that's.
Yeah, I think trying to find a balance, and I think the program Celebrity SAS, was the thing that really sort of showed me that.
I don't do enough weights. I think you're one or the other, and we've got weights. The garage is waiting. I've got a little gym in the garage. Well, my wife has got a gym in the garage. She loves the weights. I think you either do or you don't. I don't know.
I actually dropped a very, very heavy weight on my chest the other day because I was stupidly trying to lift too heavy, and I kind of.
All right. Well, can I say, having hugged you today, I feel sorry for the weight, not for your chest. Honestly, Fiona in Stratford, love hearing from Gareth. Very inspiring. Paul says, my eldest son William has a stammer. He's 26 and thriving now. Gareth was a shining light for us. Val says, Gareth is so inspiring and wholehearted. The poster boy for chasing your dreams and paying forward. My heart is so full for him. So many people love you, Gareth.
Thank you so much.
They really love you. And tell us about the coaching courses you've been on and the qualifications you've acquired.
Yeah, I'm on a program called the Maguire program, and it teaches you a new way of breathing, a new way of speaking, a brand new way to tackle the mindsets that actually come with having a stammer, which is essentially avoidance. We avoid speaking situations, we avoid certain words that we know that we can't say, and to face those words and face those situations head on. And it's only by doing that that you start to get a hold of this this thing that sort of plagued me my whole life.
Wow. It's an amazing story. Britain's Got Talent comes back on Saturday.
Yes.
And in The Sun today, they've got the return of Nasty Simon. I can't remember what the headline is. In fact, can you just get the paper so we'll do this properly? And it just so happens, this happens a lot on our show, just serendipity says.
Sure.
That there's a story that's perfect for what we're talking about at the moment. It's on page 7 of The Sun. Just bring it in, Jane. I'll sort it out. Thank you. Thank you very much. There you go. So here we go. This is today's Sun newspaper. This is this week's Sun newspaper. Cowell, no more Mr. Nice Guy. He thinks, and some people think he's become too nice and too soft.
Really?
Recently, and I like lovely Simon.
Yes.
And he was gorgeous to you, wasn't he, that day?
Yeah, I was told after the audition, as soon as I left the room, he sort of put his hand up and said, "We've found our idol." That's and he championed me. Ever since then, I was then signed to his record label, and it's because of Simon Cowell that I'm sat here today. And he's very annoyingly. So always right.
He's very perceptive, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's great at what he does.
He knows
he's great
what he's doing.
Finding the talent, that will sell millions and millions of records.
Let's just go back to that moment when Simon held his hand up, and initially none of us knew why he was doing that. We suspected the worst. We'll ask Gareth what he thought was going to happen after this.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there.
Wow.
Gareth, I'm going to say something, that when you're looking for a star, you take into account everything.
I know.
What you've done today is unbelievably brave, just standing here in front of the 4 of us. And you do have a problem with your voice, I understand that, but you don't have a problem with your singing voice.
Yeah, that's right.
And you are 100% coming to London for the next audition.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
When he held his hand up, did you think he was going to say enough, or?
Yeah. I genuinely thought I'd blown it. They were searching for an idol. I was defected. I wasn't perfect, as it were. But that created my story.
Yeah, of
you know,
course.
for my whole life leading up to that, having a stammer was a very, very negative thing.
Yeah.
But then for the first time, it was a positive thing. You know, he actually helped me stand out from the crowd. You know, and that kind of blew my mind. I was like, wow, you know, is this thing that's kind of tortured me my whole life, you know, is that the very thing that's going to get me noticed? And I was like, wow.
And here we are, 25 years anniversary next year, of course. You've got to do something with that next year.
Yeah, let's see.
It's funny, though, because back on the night of the final, you know, I remember, you know, you're either Team Blur or Team Oasis.
That's right.
Race to the number one. And you're either Team Will or you were Team Gareth.
That's right.
And what a show that was, that final. It was a live final. Will Young performed Light My Fire, Anything Is Possible, Evergreen. Gareth performed Unchained Melody, Anything Is Possible, and Evergreen as well. And then the initial show was on at 7 p.m. on ITV. You remember all this. I presume you remember it all.
Yeah.
And then it went off, and then the votes were taken, weren't they? And it was the biggest vote count ever on British TV to that point, which was 8.5 million votes. And Will won 53.1% of the vote, and you won obviously the other half. It was so close, wasn't it?
That's right.
And none of us knew at home. None of us had a clue who was going to win, because after your performances, you know, you were strong on one song and Will was weak on another song, and it was literally neck and neck.
That's right.
What did it feel like in the interim period before the first live show and the results show?
Yeah, I mean, before that final, we were both told that we got a record deal anyway, you know, and so we were both like, you know, it'd be nice to take the crown. But, you know, we were both going to be living out our dream anyway, you know, and then as soon as we finished, I was whisked off to America to shoot my first video, and I was a pop star then anyway. So, you know, although I was, you know, absolutely gutted on the night, you know, I was fulfilling my dream anyway.
Yeah, and you were so different as performers anyway, weren't you?
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously he won, and you were obviously gutted on the night. But as an audience, we couldn't lose. You know what I mean? Because we loved you both. You know, it was amazing, mate. Yeah, and it's still amazing now. It's so cool, isn't it? It's so cool. Might you do anything next year for the 25th anniversary?
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken about it. There's a few sort of ideas in the air, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Do those 3 songs feature in the new show?
Unchained Melody does. And Anything Is Possible and Evergreen obviously became the songs for the winner. So I've not actually sang those since, actually, but I should maybe sort of revisit them at some point.
Yeah, next year's the year, man. I mean, you know, but you've never stopped working. Do you have these academies? Have I read that right? You have these theatre academies?
Yeah, but, you know, I've been in the world of theatre now for ages. In fact, the first thing I ever did as a kid was Joseph at school, and then I had an audition with Andrew Lloyd Webber in his office, you know, and he offered me the very part on the West End. You know, I then got into theatre, and I've done lots of big sort of West End shows since. And I've been very, very fortunate to continue to work. You know, and some 24 years later, I'm still here, treading the boards.
Yeah. Are you still loving it?
Yeah.
Treading the boards and some. Treading the boards 3.0. Boybandinthebuff.com for tickets. And this is going to go on till, let me have a look. You finish in October. Jeez.
Yes.
You're going to take the summer off? You're going to have a couple of weeks away? July. You got July.
That's the plan.
Okay, that's the plan. Who knows?
Yeah, but we're touring sort of all the major cities. We go to Manchester, we go to Newcastle, Southampton, Leeds, and everywhere in between.
All right, mate. Well, you are awesome. We do this thing. We have this grip strength little this challenge, the grip strength challenge.
Okay.
because obviously your grip strength is a calibration or a metric of your overall fitness.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I was so scared of doing this because obviously I'm minimum twice the age of everybody who works probably in the building, let alone on the show. But it's a fitness thing, not necessarily strength thing. So I did all right. And Frank, who's 23, is gutted that I absolutely thrashed him on the grip strength test. But we think you might break this. Do you want to give it a go?
Yeah.
All right. So to beat...
what do you do?
I can't be top of the leaderboard, am I?
You are.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm at 46.7. Iceman, our engineer, he's Icelandic, so he's basically made of granite.
Wow.
He's 44 kilograms grip strength. Young Frank, 41, but that was his second attempt because he said, you can't put 32 up, you can't put 32 up. Tilly's 30 kilograms, and Goldie Rocks yesterday had to go. She's 29.1. Do you want to give this a go?
Yeah, I mean, what do you do?
You just grip it as hard as you can.
Yeah?
Yeah, and you'll have no worries with it at all.
Okay.
Just,
ready?
Yeah, just grip it as hard as you can and let go, and
You let go?
we need to turn it on first.